Hey everyone, Tin Man here, back with today's daily jail update, and this jail is pretty fair, I think. There's some big hitters out. We got Keeper of the Light as a big loss to a lot of mage compositions, but as the only mage that has hit the banned list today, that means I think mages can still be fairly viable, specifically 3 mage compositions. If you want to run 3 mages with, say, Razor, Morphling, and Lich or Puck as kind of the 2 best options for kind of that AoE magic damage. I still think the damage output for them is pretty substantial. You don't need to go all in on Keeper of the Light, although of course Keeper of the Light is great. So I think if you're going to run some kind of Primordial build today, perhaps, you can still run it with those 3 mages, or run those 3 mages behind some kind of other frontline with more magic damage dealers. I wouldn't recommend 6 mages because Dragon Knight being out means that a lot of your value of like Puck, for instance, as a mage is definitely down. So kind of I think mages are probably looking to try to go with Primordials today. Other than that, we do see 3 warriors out, Tusk, Juggernaut, and Slarter, but they were kind of accessory warriors. They weren't like the big focal points. I don't think this invalidates warriors, which typically if 3 things are banned out of a composition, it's really hard to play them. But yesterday we had Tiny and Tidehunter out, and those are real big important units. Or if Pudge is out because he contributes a really key alliance, the Heartless Alliance. I still think you can run 3 warriors in a lot of compositions today with Tiny, Tidehunter, Pudge, or Kunkka thrown in there, and then Troll Warlord if you get it later. So I wouldn't be afraid to be picking up and playing warriors early on, knowing that you can still have that good late game good later game, mid and late game. So what else? We're missing a couple hunters. Hunters, the Lycan and Windranger out, but those aren't very key hunters and are fairly easily replaceable. Honestly, they were kind of lower tier hunters anyway. So still, if you're looking to play 3 hunter compositions, that's perfectly viable. I wouldn't necessarily recommend 6 hunters. It's been kind of falling in my estimation the more I've been playing. 6 hunters are just super inconsistent and rely heavily on getting Medusa, who's a great unit, but then you kind of lack some of the damage and CC that you would have from other alliances that you could put in instead of you go 3 hunters plus something else. 3 hunters and 4 Heartless is my favorite, which you just can't really fit that in if you're running 6 hunters until you get up to level 9 or 10, and that's pretty difficult. So 3 hunters, still great to pair in, especially with something like warriors. I will say that Sniper is kind of effectively banned because of Gyrocopter, and Sniper is really great in the late game if you can get Deadeye. Otherwise, he's just acceptable. So with Gyrocopter out means that it's really hard to get up to a good Sniper plus Gyrocopter combo, so I'd try to avoid Sniper and maybe put a higher priority on Beastmaster, higher priority on Terrorblade. I've been a big fan of Terrorblade recently, as well as Drow Ranger, Marana, and Medusa. Other than that, we see Nyx Assassin out, and that means that Assassin comps are still strong, but you just can't really pair them with insects. So maybe you pair them with Tidehunter for some stuns, maybe you pair them with Tiny for stuns, or Alchemist for some AoE armor shred, or just some other kind of frontline, Kunkka perhaps, rather than going with insects as the normal pairing with assassins. But I still think assassins are quite viable. Other than that, we don't see any druids or brutes banned, so definitely look for druid, brute, heartless kind of combos. There's no heartless banned. There's Dragon Knight banned, but other knights are still viable if you want to run a 4 knights, Chaos Knight, Luna, Bat Rider, Abaddon kind of deal, something like that. None of the trolls or healers that you typically pair with knights are out. So still a lot of good options available today, and good luck in your games. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.